Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about the BMW Top Box, what I've done to make it what I think is a really good top box. So stick around. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so if you ride a K1600 or a RT1250, and I don't have any experience with the 1300s, but these bikes have small capacities for storage. My original design on my aux tank, I couldn't use my OEM top box. I bought my bike and it had the top box on it already, so it sat on the shelf. So I literally never used it. I used a Pelican case and I used a small one. I considered that my office on LDE and cert rides. It had, you know, rally book and simple things like that. On normal long distance rides, I didn't have much in there because it was just small. I could have gone bigger, but I just went small. During my ride in June, the IBR, I realized how nice it was to be able to push a button and lock and unlock my bags. I got a little sense of security out of that, knowing that my boxes were locked. And then I started thinking, my Pelican case I locked with little padlocks, and I throw them in there, and when I went to lock them I'd have to find them, and then I got to dig out the key, which is on a key ring somewhere. But I got thinking, man, I've got a really expensive top box at home on the shelf that I think locks with a button. Man, how convenient would that be? And it's big. I think it's 57 liters. I'll verify and I'll put it in the description, but having that extra room doesn't mean you got to put stuff in there. But having that extra room can come in real handy on long trips, like removing a liner, you know, a heated jacket liner or something. You don't want to tuck it all the way away and pack it away because you might need it in another 10 hours. So having a spot that you can just toss it in there and go on really made sense to me. The other thing is having a light. In my Pelican case, I researched and I found a GoPro mounted light, and I put a GoPro mount inside and I put a real rechargeable light in there. The BMW box has a light. Pretty cool. So while on my ride and on the way home, I got thinking about this top box and I wanted to give it a try. So that's why it's been on my bike. Now, when you're doing even a cert ride, especially if it's a complicated cert ride where you're going to be gone multiple days and you need to file stuff and sort stuff and keep them separated. During events like that, and even the IBR, the Rally Master told you, you need to be efficient on and off the bike. So efficient to me off the bike is just another word for organization. So let's show you a couple things that I've done to my top box to make it organized. Okay, this is the first thing. I ran across this a while back and I thought, oh, it's a BMW branded laptop case. Man, I've got a million laptop cases. I don't need another one. And then I passed on and kept going. And I ran across it again and I looked and they say it attaches to the inside of the top box. Now, in my GSA days, I've run across a bunch of different organizers, they call them, that Velcro or two-sided tape. If you put anything with some weight in there, you open the box and it's laying down because it just doesn't hold. And that's what I felt this was going to be. And I really never even read the description. And then it caught my attention for like the 19th time, and I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. And I'll put the link in the description. It's about $142, which is kind of pricey, and it's pretty small, but it has this ability. So these fittings are part of a quick release system that I can lock it in place, and it's going to stay. It's not held in with Velcro or two-sided tape. So when I first got them and I took a look at the package, it came with these little self-tapping screws, and they're about that long, and I'm going to show you. And I thought, those things are going straight through the top of my top box. I'm not doing that. So again, I tossed it aside. And then I was inside my top box doing something, I'm not even sure, cleaning, organizing. I realized the top box is designed for this thing. Let's take a look. Okay, I don't know if we can see them real good, but you see these little raised pieces. They have a couple little indentions where you can just, it's made for these screws to go straight in. This turns and locks, turns and unlocks. So you put 4 of those in there, and it holds that thing very secure. When you look at this top box, there's nothing sticking out. These, and I'll talk about these have a cap, so there's no protruding things. The top box is lined, it comes off real quick. So the box itself is big and roomy, and then this thing adds another layer of organization. So let's get this thing installed and I'll show you. Okay, so as you can see, you just put them in there and turn, and it's not going anywhere. Now when you open this up, I think it's big enough for the essentials. Look, I've got my registration and insurance. I have a tablet in there, and I have my clipboard for rallying. Easy enough. You could put a nice, in that pocket, you could put the rally book in there. I actually have my Texas transponder in there, and it does work. Here's another pouch. I'm sure my iPad will fit. I don't know that I'm going to put a whole computer in there, but it probably would. So pretty simple. Top box even has a light. I need to see how much this thing is going to block the light, because it's going to block the light some, and that's going to be a problem. That added a little layer, just a place to put rally book, paperwork, receipts if I need them, items that I have to have so they don't get just destroyed from sliding around the top box, and as simple as an ink pen. Years ago at a rally, I couldn't find my pen. It just got jumbled around. It looked like I had a yard sale on the side of the road where I was doing this photo. So that is going to help with organization. It may block the light more than I want it to, but it comes on and off really quick. So that's the first thing. The second thing I did was I added a rack to the top. Let's take a look at that. So this rack is made by Wunderlich. I am a fan of their products, and maybe it took away from a little bit of the sleekness, but it's designed to have a bag for the top. When you ride 2-up or even in a rally situation, you just don't have a lot of storage on this bike. Now I won't add anything super heavy up here, but you could certainly put snacks or change of clothes or something like that. You know, in a rally world, you're really only talking about socks and t-shirts, right? So if I was going 2-up somewhere, we could put snacks and things like that in there. Super simple. So let's take a look at the bag that you get for that. So it's molded and designed to fit. It hooks on with some major Velcro pieces. I'm not sure the leader. I'll try to put a link for what it is. Again, made by Wunderlich because it's designed. So we have some webbing on the top. The inside, I don't know that it's going to be waterproof, but they did give a big waterproof bag. So there's that. It has a carrying strap, so a couple D-rings, so you can carry it that way, or this handle. I just think certainly enough room for some LD comforts, and maybe a pair of gloves, socks, a couple t-shirts, stuff like that. It's going to fit easy in there. And that'll leave the other pannier wide open for what I could have been my sleeping bag and things like that. So I could have really taken advantage of the Iron Butt Motel and slept much more comfortable. Again, there's just not a lot of storage on these bikes. So I think this Wunderlich bag is a good addition to my level of organization and helping. Getting ready to try it out. I'm going to take it maybe next week. So again, there's a couple products, a couple things. Why I think the Top Box is a really good option, especially the fact that it locks and unlocks with a click of a button. All right, hope you got something out of this video. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. All right, I appreciate you watching. Have a great day. Be safe.